Accepting a non-local mind would mean acknowledging that human beings are not closed, predictable, and entirely controllable systems. When an idea challenges just a theory, it tends to be debated, but when it threatens an entire worldview, it faces outright opposition. The notion that consciousness might not be limited to the brain doesn't just shake scientific models, it disrupts deeply ingrained emotional, social, and economic structures. Beneath this resistance lies more than mere intellectual skepticism. There's fear. Accepting a non-local mind would mean acknowledging that human beings are not closed, predictable, and entirely controllable systems. This would challenge the notion that thoughts, behaviors, and decisions can be fully manipulated through chemical or technological means. The idea of control, so highly valued in modern society, would begin to unravel. Entire industries have been built on the assumption that the mind is merely a product of the brain. Pharmaceuticals, standardized therapies, and mechanistic approaches generate enormous resources. Acknowledging that this model is incomplete doesn't invalidate it, but it does diminish its exclusivity. Any challenge to a conceptual monopoly provokes a reaction. If consciousness doesn't end with the body, then our choices take on a different significance. Responsibility shifts from being merely social to becoming existential. Thoughts, intentions, and actions are no longer fleeting private events. Instead, they become expressions of something more enduring. This concept is liberating for some, but frightening for many. For a culture that shies away from this topic or views it as an absolute end, this shift can provoke deep anxiety. The unknown, even when it holds the promise of continuity, is often dismissed when it challenges established certainties. However, time has only served to amplify the evidence. There's a difference between knowing something and being able to say it without facing consequences. Science, being a human endeavor, is not immune to these pressures. There are no explicit prohibitions, just clear incentives about what is safe to research and publish. Ideas that align with the prevailing paradigm receive support, while those that challenge it encounter silence, irony, or isolation. As a result, the most profound innovations are gradually stifled. Resistance to non-local consciousness won't last forever. It's merely a phase, not a final destination. As we begin to contemplate the human and spiritual implications of this discovery, something shifts quietly in our self-perception. At this juncture, the conversation transcends mere science and begins to resonate with the essence of the human experience.